Hey guys, so I'm trying a new video series of videos today where, as you can see, we're back in the Minecraft stadiums, and what I'm going to do is I am going to try to predict the outcome of the hurling and football matches that are coming up for the year. So pretty much every week there'll be a new video uploaded with the weekend's fixtures. Well, there'll be two videos because I'm going to have a separate video for the hurling and the football because otherwise the videos would be like 4 hours long some weekends. Because like some of the weekends there's going to be a massive amount of fixtures. Uh, but as we get towards the end of the season, I might be able to merge the videos together into one video because obviously we'll be in the straight knockout stages of the fucking games, so we might be able to merge them into one and then have it so that we can make up the time. But for the time being, it's going to be two separate videos, and today I'm going to predict the results of the fixtures for the 29th and 30th of January in the football. So let's get a move on. Okay, so here we have our first game of the weekend. It is Dublin versus Armagh in a Royal 1 match. And you can see we're in Parnell Park, Dublin are home. And I know the Dublin footballers play in Croke Park and yada yada yada. But here's what I have to say to that. Okay, so my prediction for this, the two teams should be pretty even. Dublin would, if it was the championship, Dublin would probably put out their best team. And hard to predict, though in the league, as they'd probably use kind of a newer, more inexperienced team, because the league is treated as more like a kind of a preparation. It's become a bit more important in the last few years, but it's not, it's not a championship level. So I don't expect it to be too tight of a game, but not a complete bulldozer. I'm still going to go with Dublin to win, and I'm going to say by 3 points. So that's my prediction. Dublin to win by 3 points. Okay, so our next game that we're predicting is Derry versus Down in Royne 2. And this should be a close enough game. Derry and Down, they've always kind of been roughly on the same level, kind of moving back and forth between which team is doing better at the time. About this time, they're fairly even. So it's kind of hard to decide who will win this. So I'm gonna say Down to win by 2 points. So that's my prediction. I was kind of leaning towards a draw first, but I think one of them will edge out the other, and I think it'll be Down. So I'm going with Down to win by 2 points. Okay, so our next fixture is a Rowan Tree clash between Limerick and Longford. Now, this one, I think I have a bit more of a clear idea of who's going to win. Limerick have done pretty decently in the last 2 years in the football, whereas Longford have kind of sat roughly where they always do. They're a bit hit and miss. Some teams are better than that, and some teams are not. So, but I think Limerick should win this pretty handy. And I'm going to say Limerick to win by 5 points. So that's my prediction for that match. Okay, so our next match is Fermanagh v Antrim, also in Rowan 3 of the league. So this one is a bit closer. We're back to the more closer game. Both teams doing relatively okay. but I think Antrim will probably be the better team on the day. And I'm going to say Antrim by 3 points. So there's the prediction for that game. Fermanagh should probably hold it to them, but I think Antrim will just about manage to pull off the victory, and they'll probably kind of get the 3 points that put them ahead coming into the end of the game. Okay, so our final game on the Saturday is a round 4 clash between Carlow and London. Yep. London have a GAA team. Although I think I mentioned this in my stadium showcases. But still, I reckon London and the other non-Irish teams, Berkshire, Lancashire, New York, all that, they haven't really played in the last few years for obvious reasons. So I can't imagine London will be up for it too much. Something tells me they'll struggle quite a bit getting back into the flow of things. Again, Carlow, who have been playing for the last 2 years. So, but and Carlow, I'd probably put them as one of the. They'd be in the top half of the table. So I'm going to, unfortunately, give London a bit of a beating from Carlow, and I'm going to say Carlow to win by 10 points. I know that's quite a bit of a beating, but it's just a prediction. I know I'm more than likely going to be wrong, but it's just I'm trying to factor in the fact that London haven't played in the last 2 years, and I think that's just what's going to affect them. So that's it for the Saturday predictions, and next we will move on to the Sunday ones. Okay, so here is the first game of Sunday's fixtures. We have Kildare versus Kerry in Round 1, and I reckon this will be pretty one-sided in favour of Kerry. I mean, Kildare might put up a bit of a fight, but I think Kerry will be the one to walk away with the win. And I wouldn't say by too much, be by a decent amount, but not too much. So I'm going to say Kerry to win by 6 points. Yeah, I think that's a fair guess, and it wouldn't be too bad for Kildare. So on to the next. Okay, so our next game in Round 1 is Mayo versus Donegal, and this should be one of the closest games in the entire thing. Because Mayo made it to the All-Ireland final, Donegal are a brilliant team. I think I don't think either of them would win by much. I think I'd have to go with Mayo by 2 points, and that'd be about it. I can't see there being too big of a gap between the two teams. So yeah, Mayo to win by 2 points. Okay, so our next game is another Round 1 clash between Tyrone and Monaghan, and Tyrone are the All-Ireland champions at the minute, so I'm definitely picking them. By how much? I'm gonna say by 4 points. Tyrone, they're an they're an absolute monster of a team at the minute. Like they're really really good. They done brilliantly in the All-Ireland final, so I think they should do just as well against Monaghan in the league when it starts. Okay, our next game is a Round 2 clash between Roscommon and Cork. This one should be even enough, but I think Cork will edge it out in the end. I'm I don't think by too much. I think Cork will do it by only 3 points. So that's my prediction for that. Uh, I think it's a fair prediction. Okay, so our next game is another Round 2 clash between Galway and Meath. Now this should be a pretty even game. Uh, it's and it is pretty hard to say now, to be honest. Trying to come up with who would win this. Meath are probably the second best team in Leinster at the minute. Galway are probably the second best in Connacht, so that's why it's a difficult one to decide. But I think I'd have to give the edge to Meath in the end and to win it by 3 points. So that's my prediction for this game. Okay, so our next game up is another Round 2 clash between Clare and Offaly. Another two teams who should be fairly even. I think either one, this could go either way. Um, but I think I'm going to give the edge to Clare to win by 4 points. I don't really have a reason why. I just feel it's just kind of I have a gut feeling about that, like Clare to win by 4 points. But obviously we'll see how it goes when the actual game starts. Okay, so our next game up is a Rowan Tree clash between Westmeath and Wicklow. So this one should be fairly close again. It's kind of hard to say, but I think I'd have to give the edge to Wicklow going into this. I think they're a team that's they're kind of working on themselves lately, and they're doing their best to improve. So I think I'm going to go with Wicklow to win by 2 points. And I think that's a realistic result to go with for this one. Okay, our next game is another Rowan Tree clash between Louth and Laois, and this is another close-ish one, but I think I already know my prediction. I'm gonna go with Louth on this. I feel like Louth are just that slight bit better than Laois in the football. In the hurling, Laois handy, but I think in the hurling, Louth just about have it, and I think I'm going to go with Louth to win by 2 points again. Okay, our next game is a round floor clash between Leitrim and Cavan. I think this is another one where I have a good idea of my winner, and I think I'm going to go with Cavan on this. I think they're just that slight bit better than Leitrim, and I'm going to go with Cavan to win by 5 points. So I think that's roughly how much I think will be in it. Okay, so our next game is another round 4 clash between Waterford and Tipperary. This is a close enough one, I think, but I think Waterford are struggling a little bit in football, and Tip are kind of on their way up to improving. So I think I'm going to go with Tipperary to win by 3 points. So I think that's a fair guess to make. So Tipperary to win by 3 points. Okay, and our final game on the Sunday is Wexford v Sligo. Now Wexford have started to improve quite a bit in the last year. Sligo, I think they're still at a very steady level that they've always been, and I think this would be a very even game. But I think Wexford are becoming just a bit hungrier for it. But maybe Sligo can hold it to them. Who knows? These are just predictions, and I'll make videos with the results to go out literally the next day. Well, the next, like the Monday. But I think this is probably going to be a pretty close game, and but I'm going to go with Wexford to win by 2 points. I think they're just that bit hungrier for it. They're wanting it more. But again, I could be wrong, so who knows? So there you have it. Those are my predictions for this weekend's Football League fixtures. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure to leave a like and a comment. Don't forget to subscribe as well. And I'll see you for the results on Monday.